Word to the wise, stay upwind. The gas man blinked at me, his gorgeous blue eyes round and trusting. What's for breakfast? He asked, sitting up. His fine blond hair stuck up all over his head, reminding me of a fledgling's downy feathers. It's a surprise, I said, since I had no idea. I'll pour juice, the gas man offered, and my heart swelled. He was sweet. He was a sweet, sweet kid, and so was his little sister. He and 6-year-old Angel were the only blood siblings among us. But we were all a family anyway. Soon, Iggy, tall and pale, slouched into the kitchen, eyes closed. He fell onto our beat-up couch with perfect aim. The only time he had trouble being blind was when one of us forgets to move furniture or something. "Hey, Ig, rise and shine," he said. "Hey, Ig, rise and shine," I said. "Bite me," he mumbled sleepily. "Fine," I said. "Miss breakfast." I was looking in the fridge with naive hope. Maybe the food fairies had come. When the back of my neck prickled, I straightened quickly and spun around. "Will you quit that?" I said. Thing, always appearing silently like that out of nowhere, like a shadow come to life. He regarded me calmly, dressed and alert, his dark, overlong hair brushing back. He was 4 months younger than me, but already 4 inches taller. "Quit what?" he asked calmly, breathing. I rolled my eyes. "You know what." With a grunt, Iggy staggered upright. "I'll make eggs," he announced. I guess if I were more of a fembot, it would bother me that a blind guy 6 months younger than I am would cook better than I could. But I'm not, so I didn't. I surveyed the kitchen. Breakfast was well underway. "Fang, will you set the table? I'll get Nudge and Angel." The two girls shared the small bedroom. I pushed the door open to find 11-year-old Nudge asleep, tangled up in her covers. She was barely recognizable with her mouth shut, I thought wryly. When she was awake, we called it the Nudge Channel. All nudge, all the time. "Hey, sweetie, up and at 'em," I said, gently shaking her shoulder. "Breakfast in 10. Nudge blinked, her brown eyes struggling to focus on me. "What?" she mumbled. "Another day," I said. "Get up and face it." Groaning, Nudge levered herself into a rumpled but technically upright position. Across the room, a thin curtain concealed one corner. Angel always liked small, cozy spaces. Her bed, tucked behind the curtain, was like a nest, full of stuffed animals, books, most of her clothes. I smiled and pulled the curtain back. "Hey, you're already dressed," I said, leaning over to hug her. "Hi, Max," she said, tugging her blonde curls out of her collar. "Will you do my buttons?" "Yep." I turned her around and started doing her up. "Angel. Maybe... Oh, sorry. I'd never told the others, but I love Angel. Maybe because I've been taking care of her practically since she was a baby. Maybe because she was just so incredibly sweet and loving herself. Maybe because I'm like your little girl," said Angel, turning around to look at me. "But don't worry, Max, I won't tell anybody. Besides, I love you best, too." She threw her skinny arms around my neck, and planted a somewhat sticky kiss on my cheek. I hugged her back hard. "Oh yeah, that's another special thing about Angel. She can read minds." I want to go pick strawberries today," Angel said firmly, scooping up a forkful of scrambled eggs. "They're ripe now." "Okay, Angel, I'll go with you," said the gas man. Just then he let one rip and Just then he let rip one of his unfortunate occurrences and giggled. "Oh, geez, Gazzy," I said disapprovingly. "Gas mask," Iggy choked out, grasping his neck and pretending to asphyxiate. "I'm done," Fang said, getting up quickly and taking his plate to the sink. "Sorry," the gasman said automatically, but he kept eating. "Yeah, Angel," said Nudge. "I think the fresh air would do us all some good. I'll go too." "We'll all go," I said. Outside it was beautiful, clear and cloudless, with the first real heat of May. We carried buckets and baskets as Angel led us to the huge patch of wild strawberries. She held my hand. "If you make cake, I can make strawberry shortcakes," she said happily. "Yeah, that'll be the day when Max makes cake," I heard Iggy say. "I'll make it, Angel." Our world. "Oh, thank you," I explained. Okay, I'm not a fabulous cook, but I can still kick your butt, and don't you forget it. Iggy was laughing, holding his hands up in denial. Node was trying not to laugh. Even Fang was grinning. The Gazman looked mischievous. Was that you? I asked Gazzy. He grinned and shrugged, trying not to look too pleased with himself. The Gazman had been about 3 when I realized he could mimic just about any sound or voice. I lost count of how many times Iggy and Fang had almost come to blows over stuff Gazzy had said in their faces. It was a dark gift, and he wielded it happily. It was just another weird ability. Most of us had them, whatever they were. They sure made life more interesting. Next to me, Angel froze and screamed. Startled, I stared down at her, and in the next second, men with wolfish muzzled, huge canines and reddish glinting eyes dropped in the sky like spiders. Erasers! And it wasn't a dream. Chapter 5. There was no time to think. Jeb had trained us not to think, just to act. I launched myself at an eraser, spinning and planting a hard roundhouse kick in his barrel chest. He went oof, and the odor was just awful, like raw sewage left out in the sun. After that, it was like a movie, a bunch of superimposed images that hardly seemed real. I landed another blow. Then an eraser punched me so hard that my head snapped around. I felt the burst of blood in my mouth. At the corner of my eye, I saw Fang holding his own against an eraser, until 2 more ganged up on him, and he went down under flailing claws and hands. Iggy was still upright, with one eye already swelling shut. Beyond shock, I scrambled to my feet, and saw the gasman out cold, laying face down on the ground. I leaped toward him, only to be grabbed again. 2 erasers pinned my arms behind my back. Another leaned in, his reddish eyes glinting with excitement, his jaw fully morphed out and snout-like. He pulled back, his hands curled into fists. Then he brought it in hard, punching me in the stomach. An unbelievable pain exploded inside me. I doubled over, dropping like a stone. Dimly, I heard Angel screaming and Nudge crying. Get up, I told myself, sucking in air. Get up! As weird mutant kids, we're much, much stronger than regular grown-up humans. But erasers aren't regular grown-up humans, and they outnumbered us as well. We were dog meat. I struggled to my hands and knees, trying not to retch. I staggered to my feet, bloodlust in my eyes, ready to kill. 2 erasers held Nudge's hands and feet. They swung her hard, and she went sailing, hitting her head against a tree. I heard a small pained cry, and then she lay crumpled among the pine needles. With a hoarse, blood-muffled shout, I ran up and clapped my cupped hands around Eraser's furry ears. He shrieked as his eardrums popped and fell to his knees. Max! Angel screamed, high-pitched and terrified. I spun around, and Eraser had her by the arms, and I reached toward her. And I reached forward, jumping over Iggy, who now lay unconscious. 2 erasers fell on me, knocking me down, one pressing a heavy knee into my chest. I wheezed and struggled, and one of them cupped my face hard, his ragged claws digging deep welts into my cheek. Dizzily, I fell back, the 2 erasers pinning me, and with uncomprehending horror, I saw 3 other erasers stuffing Angel, my baby, into a rough sack. She was crying and screaming, and one of them hit her. Frantically struggling, I tried to scream, but could only make out a hoarse choke cry. Get off me, you stupid freaking! I choked, but I was slammed back again. An eraser leaned over me, smiling horribly. Max, he said, and my stomach clenched. Did I know him? Good to see you again. He went on conversationally. You look like crap. You always acted so much better than anyone else, so this cheers me up. Who are you? I gasped, feeling cold at the center of my being. The eraser grinned, his long, sharp teeth barely fitting in his jaw. You don't recognize me? I guess I've grown some. My eyes went wide all of a sudden, horrified recognition. Airy, I whispered, and he laughed like a mad person. Then he stood up. I saw his huge black boot came to my head. I felt my head jerk to one side, and everything went black. My last thought was disbelief.